The show is really cool. It's got, we'll have 10 episodes this year.
Do you still remember Iron Resurrection? One of the most popular TV series that changed the narrative, or perhaps restructured how you view reality shows. Have you ever wondered what happened to cast members who took a break and never returned to your screen? Join us as we reveal the mysteries surrounding Iron Resurrection members that will leave you speechless. Mike Zabonik. Mike Zabonik was one of the earliest members of Iron Resurrection, and he quickly became a fan favorite. With his steady hands and sharp eyes, Mike handled each build with precision. He wasn't the loudest on the show, but he was reliable and kept things moving. Viewers loved that about him. However, behind the scenes, his bond with Joe Martin wasn't just about friendship, it's about trust. They'd worked side by side for 15 years. Not long after, the team behind Iron Resurrection reached out. They weren't looking for a performer. They were looking for someone real. Mike wasn't trying to impress, he was just being himself. Then in 2019, Mike faced something far more serious than any restoration project. He began to disappear from the show. With constant deadlines to meet and grueling work behind the scenes, eventually Mike made the difficult decision of leaving the show. Fans missed him and began to realize that he was the one who made Iron Resurrection feel special. Even after his departure, things weren't easy. Mike began to reappear on TV, but he didn't come back to Iron Resurrection. And maybe that was by choice. Maybe after everything, Mike found peace in living life on his own terms, away from the rush. Still, Mike was one of those rare people on television who didn't get hate or negativity from viewers. Everyone on set liked working with him, and fans always looked forward to seeing him on screen. Joe Martin. Joe Martin was known for his calm personality and a huge love for cars. He wasn't just talking about cars, he actually lived a life around them. Joe Martin made Iron Resurrection famous, but it wasn't just about fame. It was his true love for each step of the process. From turning old cars into rare classics, Joe made sure each car felt unique. But behind his incredible resilience was a heartbreaking childhood that very few people knew about. Joe was born on April 16, 1969 in Austin, Texas. From an early age, Joe loved watching his dad work on engines. While other kids were playing with toy cars, Joe was curious about how the real ones worked. Interestingly, his dad gave him an old cruiser as a gift. That moment marked a turning point in his journey. Even when things were hard and people told him he wouldn't make it, Joe kept going. His dream was clear. He wanted to turn cars into works of fine art. Joe's journey to TV was even more surprising. One day, a TV producer visited the store, seeing Joe's passion and craftsmanship with each build. Eventually, Iron Resurrection premiered its first episode on April 13, 2016. The show lasted 7 seasons, and it was a blend of hard work and heart that made every restoration possible. But in early 2021, Joe's world came to a sudden halt. After a normal day, he started feeling chest pain. At first, he brushed it off, but the pain grew worse and led to a massive heart attack. His wife Amanda shared the heartbreaking news through an emotional video she posted on social media. The news hit hard and forced Joe to step away from Iron Resurrection, not because he wanted to, but because he had to. For a man built on adrenaline and big plays, stepping back was one of the hardest decisions he ever made. Because the truth is, no one genuinely knows what someone is going through on the inside, no matter how confident or cheerful they may seem in public. Still, not every cast member had the chance to pull away on their own terms. Some were forced to say goodbye far too soon. Javier Ponce. Javier Ponce, also known as Shorty, wasn't just part of the team on Iron Resurrection. He was the guy who turned simple cars into one-of-a-kind art. Whenever a car rolled out of the shop looking better than before, you could instantly recognize it was Shorty who made it happen. He was the shop's lead painter, who made every dream build come to life with pure magic. But painting cars wasn't an easy job. He wasn't trying to please others or work on tight deadlines. Instead, he focused on doing his job the right way. Shorty was the most trusted team member, not because he could pull off a tricky design, but because he understood the customer's needs and made every build feel special. Then, in 2022, Shorty faced something far more serious than any car restoration. While riding his motorcycle in Texas, he was involved in a devastating crash. The impact was severe. Shorty suffered serious chest and leg injuries, including multiple broken bones and internal damage. He was rushed to the hospital and underwent several surgeries. Recovery became his full-time focus. The man who once lit up every episode with jokes and unique paint jobs now had to learn how to walk again without pain. Javier's story reminds us that being the quiet one doesn't mean you're weak. Instead, it's a legacy of strength that still resonates in every car he ever painted. But while Javier found a new rhythm to life, another Iron Resurrection favorite had her own reasons for pulling back. Amanda Martin. Amanda Martin was born on December 11, 1973 in Red Oak, Texas. Her father was a U.S. Army veteran, so the family was deeply rooted towards service and humility. Amanda's early life wasn't shaped by engines or TV shows. Instead, it was shaped by hard work and resilience that builds character. After graduating from Red Oak High School, Amanda built a steady career in the banking world, eventually becoming the vice president of the company. It was a stable job, but not what she truly loved. But then something unexpected happened. Amanda met Joe Martin, a fabricator with a deep love for restoring cars. While others saw junk, Joe saw potential in each material. That's when Amanda started to believe in Joe's vision. However, people close to her suggested it was a huge risk and she would end up broke. But Amanda didn't back down. She learned the process and made each build stand out from the rest. Money mattered, of course, but even more than that, it was about giving each person the right deal. Their attention to detail and relentless innovation signed them with a 5-year deal with Iron Resurrection. While Joe and the crew handled the physical transformation of vehicles, Amanda used her banking knowledge to find opportunities to make the business even more profitable. But life doesn't always go as expected. In 2023, Amanda revealed that she had been diagnosed with postural orthostatic syndrome, a condition known for causing irregular heartbeat and extreme blood flow. It wasn't just a roadblock, it was a life-changing moment for her. Suddenly, it wasn't about restorations anymore. What's more important is trying to stay alive. The once strong and fearless woman we came to know was now facing the biggest battle of her life. So Amanda had to make the final call. Fans knew from the show that Amanda wasn't the type of person to give up. Instead, she chose to continue working on the show. It wasn't easy anymore. There were days when she felt tired and weak, but Joe and his family stood by her side, ensuring the emotional support she needed. On screen, Amanda was known for her sharp confidence, but off-screen she became a symbol of strength. However, as the show's popularity grew, so did Amanda's role in the public eye. She used her growing influence to help others. When her nephew Luke was diagnosed with brain cancer, Amanda took over the responsibility and eventually helped him recover. She even raised over $20,000 for children's cancer awareness. But even after all that success, Amanda's journey wasn't smooth. In 2018, a couple filed a lawsuit against the shop saying it had failed to keep up their work as they promised. The case made headlines but eventually got settled. However, Amanda reminded us that real impact doesn't come from chasing attention. Instead, it comes from choosing what matters. But the next person faced something far more devastating. Thomas Pompa. Thomas Pompa was an interesting personality on the show. While Joe was chasing big dreams, Thomas was the one who kept things on schedule, so he tried to do everything he could for the show. But that relentless effort left Thomas in trouble. He was always chasing the edge and trying to solve problems even before they happened. But in 2020, everything changed. Thomas suffered a serious stroke in the middle of the night. The stroke affected his speech and coordination and required emergency care followed by weeks of physical rehabilitation. It forced Thomas to step away from Iron Resurrection. While other cast members continued restoring cars, Thomas was in hospitals, learning how to recover. What makes this even harder for fans is that Thomas had just started to become a bigger part of the show. People were getting to know him better, and while his time on Iron Resurrection may have been brief compared to others, the way he touched people's hearts left a lasting memory. So who's your favorite Iron Resurrection member? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for further updates, and click the next video on screen now for another interesting story.